In the second year of his reign, Nebuchadnezzar had dreams, and his mind was troubled, and he could not sleep. So the king summoned the magicians, the enchanters, and the sorcerers to come to him. When they came in and stood before the king, he said to them, "I have had a dream that troubles me, and I want to know what it means." Then the astrologers answered the king, "May the king live forever. Tell your servants the dream, and we will interpret it." But the king replied to the astrologers, "This is what I have firmly decided. If you do not tell me what my dream was and interpret it, I will have you cut into pieces and your houses turned into piles of rubble. But if you tell me the dream and explain it, you will receive from me gifts and rewards and great honor. So tell me the dream and interpret it for me." And once more they replied, "Let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will interpret it." And then the king answered, "I am certain that you are trying to gain time because you realize that this is what I have firmly decided. If you do not tell me the dream, there is only one penalty for you. You have conspired to tell me misleading and wicked things, hoping the situation will change. So then tell me the dream, and I will know that you can interpret it for me."
Is he just in the mood to kill people?
So then the astrologers answered the king, "There is no one on earth who can do what the king asks. No king, however great and mighty, has ever asked such a thing of any magician or enchanter or astrologer. What the king asks is too difficult. No one can reveal it to the king except the gods, and they do not live among humans." And this made the king so angry and furious that he ordered the execution of all of the wise men of Babylon.
So was he just in the mood to kill people, or was he just like...
He apparently had been offended by somebody who tried to deceive him.
Okay.
So men were sent to find Daniel and his friends, because they were among the wise men of Babylon. So when Arioch, the commander of the king's guard, had gone out to put to death all the wise men of Babylon, Daniel spoke to him with wisdom and tact. He asked the king's officer, "Why did the king issue such a harsh decree?" And Arioch then explained the matter to Daniel. And at this, Daniel went to the king and asked for time so that he may interpret it for him. And then when Daniel came back to the house, he spoke about the matter to his friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, otherwise known as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And he urged them to plead for mercy from God concerning this mystery, so that he and his friends might not be executed along with all the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Now during the night, the mystery was revealed to Daniel in a vision. So Daniel summoned Arioch, and Arioch took him to Nebuchadnezzar. And Arioch said, "I have found a man among the exiles from Judah who can tell the king what his dream means." So the king asked Daniel, "Are you able to tell me what I saw in my dream and interpret it?" And you know what Daniel said?
Yes.
No. No wise man, enchanter, magician, or diviner can explain to the king the mystery he has asked about. But there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries. He has shown King Nebuchadnezzar what will happen in the days to come. Your dream and the visions that passed through your mind as you were lying in bed are these.
That's right.
Dad wasn't no land of Island, but was the just short, like just all the four things.
It's flat because the plain of Babylon is flat. They're not in the hill country of Judah. So Daniel told Nebuchadnezzar his dream. As your majesty was lying there, the revealers of mysteries showed you what is going to happen. As for me, this mystery has been revealed to me not because I have greater wisdom than anyone else alive, but so that your majesty may know the interpretation. Your majesty looked, and before you stood a large statue, an enormous, dazzling statue, awesome in appearance. The head of the statue was made of pure gold. Its chest and its arms were made of silver, and its belly and its thighs were made of bronze. The legs were made of iron, and the feet were partly iron and partly clay. While you were watching, a rock was cut out, but not by human hands. It struck the statue on its feet of iron and clay and smashed them. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, and the silver, and the gold were all broken to pieces and became like chaff and were blown away by the wind. But the rock that struck the statue became a huge mountain and filled the whole earth. This was the dream, Nebuchadnezzar, and now we will interpret it to the king. You, your majesty, are the King of kings. The God of heaven has given you dominion and power and might and glory. In your hands he has placed all of mankind and the beasts of the fields and the birds in the sky. You are the head of gold. After you, another kingdom will arise, inferior to yours. Next, a third kingdom, one of bronze, will rule over the whole earth. Finally, there will be a fourth kingdom, strong as iron, and as iron breaks and smashes things into pieces, so it will crush and break all the others. Just as you saw that the feet and toes were partly baked clay and partly of iron, so this will be a divided kingdom. So this kingdom will be partly strong and partly brittle. And just as you saw the iron mixed with baked clay, so the people will be a mixture and will not remain united any more than iron mixes with clay. In the time of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed, nor will it be left to another people. It will crush all of these other kingdoms and bring them to an end, but it will itself endure forever. This is the meaning of the vision of the rock cut out of a mountain, but not by human hands, a rock that broke the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, and the gold to pieces. The great God has shown the king what will take place in the future. The dream is true, and its interpretation is trustworthy. And Nebuchadnezzar was amazed, and he fell on the floor before Belteshazzar, or Daniel, and paid him honor. And the king said to Daniel, "Surely your God is the God of gods and the Lord of kings and a revealer of mysteries, for you were able to reveal this mystery." Then the king placed Daniel in a high position and lavished many gifts on him. He made him ruler over the entire province of Babylon and placed him in charge of all of its wise men. And moreover, at Daniel's request, the king appointed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego administrators over the province of Babylon, while Daniel himself remained at the royal court.
Daddy, Dad, I have a